What's happening?
That's my line.
Fuck.
What's happening, mate? How you doing?
Always taking cunts lines, ain't I?
Ah, fucking hell, man. Something's never changing.
Ah, fucking usual. Welcome to Premeditated Patter. We've got Ravie Davie.
What's happening, troops?
Fuck all's happening except for you, my man. You have a good New Year?
Aye, mate, I just spent out with the family, innit? Not
Oh, really, aye?
Day, now, so.
Ah, can you fuck, man? Aye, we're heavy fucked with, man, with the fucking lockdown and that shit, ain't we?
No, it's definitely safe to say COVID was a breakout start of last year.
Definitely was, wasn't it, mate?
Aye, prick, man.
Fucking straight out of fucking Shoreland. No, mate, it was shite. Seeing that, I see it was shite. Seeing I look back, man, that was actually quite, I couldn't say a shite year. I had quite a good year.
Aye, that's the way I see it as well. I mean, obviously, fucking, if you lost family or anything like that, or you obviously died, that's obviously...
Ah, of course, it's
obviously
fucking...
terrible, innit, know what I mean? But it's like, a lot of people have done a lot of things, not I mean, for us, a lot of people that have managed to beat addictions and get themselves new jobs or do career changes and stuff like that, they're actually a lot more happier with. So obviously it's a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. It's good that a lot of people have managed to make positives. I've actually managed to do that. I've probably managed to save a bit of money in that for the first time.
Oh, really, aye?
Spending it on holidays and that. Got myself a job that I actually like. Not I mean, it's the first time I've actually, except for being with RAF and the lockdown, the furlough, and that's actually the first time since I got into the wrestling that I managed to keep a job for the full year. Not keep a job, but be working for the full year. Not even have a wage going into my bank every Friday. So that was a good thing. Not I mean,
Ah, brilliant, man, definitely. See, comes a long way. I can kind of sympathise with you there. This is, I'm the exact same. This job I've been doing, as much as I hate it, I've been doing it nearly 2 years, and I'm kind of, that's as long as I've ever kept a job. It's always been in and out of work. Know what I mean? It's mostly agency. So it's quite hard, know what I mean? It's not as easy. You do need to know some cunt to get in some places, know what I mean? So cunts, you're in and out of a job. It's easy to happen because it's hard to get a full-time job unless you know some cunt that gets you in. But I can sympathise with it. It's fucking brutal in and out of a job. So it is, we did that first year, it is a pure achievement.
Exactly, mate. So that's what I'm saying. I'm happy with that. And then obviously a lot of people are thinking next year's going to be much better, but what I had my horses, not I mean, expect the worst anything else a bonus.
That's exactly it, mate.
A lot of it has been murder, not I mean, a lot of businesses and that shutting down. The world's been at a standstill. I've not been able to wrestle. It has been pish obviously in the grand scheme of things, but it's got to get better, not I mean, it only can get better. Obviously, the world's probably on pause for a bit, not I mean, next year as well, I think, especially starting in the lockdown. But at least this year we know what we expect as well, not I mean, last year obviously we thought, got to be a pure brilliant year, January, February, March, and then lockdown, and that hit, the coronavirus came.
It was looking a lot like fucking, it was the fucking apocalypse was coming, man. See, at the start of the year, man, you're seeing a lot of videos on Facebook, it was like coronavirus in China, cunts were collapsing in the street and shit.
I know, no one really heard much about that now.
I know, China's having fucking big massive pool parties, cunts can't move, mate. It's like a time capsule on a fucking Saturday. You should see it, mate. That's mad, they went this pool party like that. All dancing about and all that, man. Then there's no, they don't hear fuck all for them. Like they're just chilling, know what I mean? Like, what's happening here? I'm gonna go back to where it started with. What got you into wrestling?
Basically, I first got into wrestling, so when I was a wee boy. I can't really remember much growing up until my ma passed away when I was 6 years old. I think that's obviously the biggest moment of my life. So I think basically everything before then, kinda just get erased from my memory. Know what I mean? That way. So I just remember my ma died. I was pure depressed. I was upset. Nothing. I'd always so I stayed in this close, right, Kennedy Drive. Well, it was me and my man, my sister in one house, my nana upstairs and my uncle across the road, the close landing. So once my ma died, I was obviously staying with my nana up in the trap.
Just up the stair?
Aye, but every day I would just be sitting outside my house like that when's my ma coming home. Not I mean, I didn't obviously. I was only 6 years old, not I mean.
Nah, so it's not a chance to kind of really understand what's went on, kind of thing.
Plus, and all, my ma committed suicide, so nobody really gave me like a straight answer.
I couldn't have really explained
how
that.
she died, know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, so obviously I'm like, I'm just getting bammed up, know what I mean? Obviously people are just kidding on. So I would just sit outside. So eventually my nana had to move house because of that. So that's when I moved up to Drumoyne Square. That's obviously when you could say I became the Fresh Prince of Drumoyne Square.
That's when the story began.
That's when I moved up. I was just turned 7. I was about 7.5. I'd moved up there. And so that was when I started kinda getting into trouble in school and stuff like that. I'd start lashing out and stuff like that. Obviously, I know, God bless my wee nana, know what I mean? But she kinda get the blame out for a while, know what I mean? Obviously, I'd lost my man that, and like obviously I was hurt about it, so I would kind of I was a pure mammy's boy and all, so I was my ma's shadow. So when that happened, I just used to kind of like act out and stuff like that, and that happened all the way up until high school. I get kicked out of a couple of primary schools, kicked out of a couple of high schools and stuff like that, and then the only thing that ever kept me out of trouble and stuff like that, ever kept me like no thinking about my ma was wrestling. So as soon as I'd moved house, as soon as my ma passed away, I was going up more into my uncle's house and that. So my cousins and that, they watched wrestling, and I just always remember just watching it on the telly, and I'd like, it was always on late and all, but people would let my nana noticed that I was right into it, so she'd just sit and let me watch it, and then after that she just kind of get invested into like spending all the money in it for me, and just always putting that in. So even when I got older, even like when I don't know, when I was like 14, 15, like I probably shouldn't have still been into it. My nana was still buying these, because she knew that I did still like it.
She knew it meant a lot to you.
Even if I didn't like tell my pals and stuff like that I still watched wrestling. Like, to be fair, I always did. I know that's the one thing I know. I didn't exactly ever hide it. I mean, I just always.
I always dead open about it, kind of thing.
I was always dead open about it. Even that's probably one of the things. But like, I always just admitted I was a wrestling fan. Not, I always just told people, and I was a bit mad. But because so when I get into like the gang fight and stuff like that, I used to do like a lot of jackass stuff and that as well when I was younger. That was all because I liked wrestling. I couldn't do wrestling. Like, always used to ask the youth workers and stuff like that. They would come into the scheme, or when they'd ask you what do you want in the youth clubs, what do you want to do? Me and my cousin Xander, we'd always be like, oh, we want to be wrestlers, know what I mean? Can you get us a youth club, or can you get us training and stuff like that? And they wouldn't even think it was obviously WWF or WWE wrestling. They'd obviously be thinking we're trying to get into it.
I like MMA or something, that kind of avenue, kind of thing.
No MMA,
I like that kind
thing, but the kind of wrestling you do in that.
Aye.
So they'd always say that, and obviously we were taught about we were wanting to get like a wrestling ring set up in a fucking hall and wrestle, but obviously everybody would just tell us you had to be like American to do that, and obviously like, you had to be massive. So I always thought that you had to be American to be a wrestler. I remember telling my teacher in school, actually, when they asked me what I wanted to be in school, I was like, I want to be a wrestler, and I get laughed at for it. You know what I mean? I just get, and that point, that was when I started trying to no height, but I stopped saying that I was got to be a wrestler. Now I started saying I was got to be a professional lottery winner and stuff like that. That was what my career wanted to be. I still deep down wanted to be a wrestler, but that ridicule just made me like, there's no point in saying that. It's not something I've ever got to be able to be.
Aye.
But then I never ever had a like, career path I wanted to do, because like, that was always the thing that stopped me. I always remember then, after that, when people asked me, I'd say, oh well, they laughed at me when I gave the real answer, so I'll say something to make them laugh. So I'd always say I want to be a professional lottery.
Aye, you just kind of hide it with kind of joke, kind of laugh it off, kind of thing.
Just jokes, no, I mean, obviously, because the one thing I did want to be, people laughed at me for it anyway, so what's the point in saying that?
Like, it made you dead self-conscious about it, said kind of insecure to a degree, you know what I mean? Because it's Glasgow especially, man, it is got that kind of culture. It's like, no, people don't want you believing in yourself, cunts are always shooting you down.
Exactly, so mate, well, that's the thing, we'll see the amount of times before I actually became a wrestler, I was telling everybody I was got to be a wrestler, but I was laughing at us, not nobody believed in us, and then obviously, now that I'm up doing it, obviously the amount of people that are fucking...
The same cunts that are going like that, yes, you're fucking...
I always knew you'd be able to do
that,
right.
I
always knew, not
like... The cunts are shitting on you for the start, not
if you didn't shade me to start, I probably wouldn't be as good at it, because I wouldn't have fucking been as driven, not
I know, definitely, so take the positive out it, know what I mean? Without the cunts saying that, you're like, no, what I'm fucking going to do this, fuck you cunts, know what I mean? It does give you that fuel. And you're just it's turning a negative into a positive kind of thing.
Aye, definitely, but so that's what I'm saying. So obviously, man, and I spent all the money on that for us, right? Just all money on wrestling all the time, just to keep me happy, try and keep me out of trouble and stuff like that. But I end up, because I wanted to be a wrestler that much, that's how I end up getting into like gang fighting and stuff like that. But I'll go to that a bit later. I'll talk about that later on if you want to. But so what I'm saying is, my nana eventually died. Not my nana passed away, and I'd been in trouble and stuff like that. I'd been into the jails, all that stuff. But so once my nana died, I was like, I wanted to do something to make her proud, you know what I mean? I got my wee apprenticeship and stuff like that, and I knew that she was happy. She didn't die, like she died being proud of me. That's the one thing I didn't know. Like, I'd sorted my life out and all that. She
you were on the right track to the point that
she had a talk with me basically when I was in the jail one time and told me to get my finger out, and I done that. You know what I mean? I was close to. I was about to finish my apprenticeship and all that, and she passed away. She got cancer. Probably one of the hardest days of my life. But after that. That's what spurred me on. I was like, well, I'm going to make all that money. Like, that's the one thing I know that if I date for beyond the grave. Because I remember I tried wrestling training that one time when she was no well, and I went and I came out after it. I had the phone call, my phone, and I had hundreds of missed calls from my sister, my uncles, everybody. And I just pure shit.
You right away. You just had a pure gut feeling something's up.
I thought my nana was dead basically, and I got on the phone. People just worried wondering where I was, obviously, because I wasn't. I've obviously got a history of like, bad mental health and stuff like that, so people basically knew when I was
knew you were in a bit of a bad place, so like,
he's
answering the phone.
They heard about me, not I mean, but obviously I'm about having the time of my life at the wrestling, like, fucking this is amazing, not I mean, fucking
class, but obviously I got him, I was like, well, I don't ever want to do that, I don't want to like, be at the wrestling, but I took when him, I was showing my nan all these pictures and that, and a wee face, she would pull no weight at her and she just cracked this big smile. So after that, that was the moment I was like, right, I'm not going to date the now, but after all this happens, I'm going to become a wrestler, I'm just going to put my all into it. So when I died, she left me £250, well, not a lot of money, not I wasn't rich or anything like that. What she done, she £1,000 she left it between the four of us, me, my two wee cousins and my sister. And then she took out a cut of stuff from the catalogue, and obviously, because she'd passed away, she didn't need to pay for it.
That's smart woman then, isn't she? You know what I mean? Got her tricks up her sleeve.
So that happened, obviously, I got a wee telly, my wee cousin got a laptop, our cousin got an iPad, man, to get something, you know what I mean? So that was sorted.
Okay, good on her, man.
But because of that, with that money, I was like, I'm going to become a wrestler, so I went and looked at a wrestling school, and it was like £125 for it, you know what I mean? So I was like, well, that's fucking...
That's half of that money
that's
then.
That's half of the money, so I put it to it was like an 8-week course, and then I done the 8-week course, and during that 8-week course, man, fucking bad luck strikes. I ended up getting to jail, going on a train, getting in a fight. I didn't fucking start the fight, the boy got battered basically. Our pal who is fucking a boy that can fight like fucking, because they didn't want to admit they get battered off one boy, they blamed us all. I had bad previous, I go to jail. But to be fair, that actually was probably the biggest blessing in disguise, because I'd done the wrestling for 6 weeks. And then I go to jail, but it's one of the ones I go to jail, but it wasn't in my head like pure order, man. I just said I've made her look, she won't be happy with it, man. Obviously she wouldn't gutted that I was in jail, but it wasn't my fault, you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I meant to do.
It's not as if you've been out fucking reverting back to old ways, ain't like you've just ended up just a bit of bad luck kind of stuff.
Because obviously what I'd done in the past, did fucking that section 23D or whatever it is.
Section 23D. Fuck section 23D.
So because of that, obviously I was fucked, you know what I mean? And then, but in the jail, I swear I was in the jail and I was actually telling everybody in the jail, all the guys not I was talking to, I was telling them I'm going to be a wrestler, and they're all pure laughing. It was not, I mean, obviously, you know yourself, you've been in the jail. I think how mad that is going to be telling countries.
I know, it's all the same kind of, I'm not to fucking slag cunts in jail, but it's a lot of the same mentalities you dealt with growing up in the scheme, or the cunt's negative, they kind of see you out the scheme life kind of shit like that.
It's the same as happened to them, people that obviously end up messing with it, go, I can't believe you're actually doing that. No, I was like, I told you so.
That's what I love, a few people admit say they're in you, and like, I think it was a boy was saying one story, you were doing the library and you were trying to get a book out, but you couldn't get it out in your name or something because you had too many out. And you asked him to get it, and he was like, I ain't bothered, it was a wrestling book. And he was like, I think at the time, no way, what the fuck, you're saying, what, a wrestler? Then he's like, and then he was like, no way, fucking he's a wrestler now, fucking good on him.
So that's what I'm saying, so obviously, but when I was in the jail, that pure spurred me on, you know what I mean, because like, that was me as like, I was like, just in my head, as like, well, there's two ways I can go here, I can either sort my life out, or I'll probably just be in the jail all my life, you know what I mean, so that combined, that getting the jail combined with my nada and what I think, and having the taste of wrestling for 6 weeks and all, but that 6 weeks before that I loved it. I took it like duck to water and all, you know what I mean? Like, I'd watched the documentaries and stuff, that's what spurred me on as well. Like, I'd seen the documentaries just after when I passed away, the money I'd already had in my head. And because obviously of that, I remember just seeing Grado right now, obviously at the time I was thinking, like, he's bigger than me, and I'm funnier than him. If he can do it, I can definitely do it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think Grado's funnier than me. I think he's the funniest guy in the world. You know what I mean? But at the time, obviously, me being pure big-headed, I was like, no way. If he can do it, I can. And turned out it was actually not too bad. You know what I mean? Obviously, I remember all getting in, and like the coaches saying, because they just opened up and all quite early, so they were obviously like wanting as many good people as they could straight away. So I just pure remember them buzzing about me and stuff like that. And then I got to jail and obviously I fucked it, and then when I got out, but I was pure determined. I ran straight to the wrestling school, talked to them and all that, said I pure want to do this and I'm going to get my finger out, I'm not going to fuck up this time, I promise you. And then ever since then I got through the 8-week course, went for the thing with class to the main class. It was like a time you done full time, after you got your 8-week course, I think, to see if you're good enough and coachable and that, then you used to be able to go 4 times a week. I went for 4 times a week until feel like November all the way through to March, and the only reason I missed it was because I went to Amsterdam one time after all of that Amsterdam stuff I done.
What did they say to you when you says you got out of the jail and you went down? Did you tell them listening, I've been in the jail?
They'd already heard nothing because they were a bit worried obviously because how like, determined I was to do it.
You just disappeared,
nobody's heard from me and that, so somebody had got the word out to them I'd go to jail, so they were a bit Hingwood, I don't really know. They probably did think I know. They probably only think I was going to be back.
Like, maybe like he's a bit of a fucking
a banger. I know what I mean. But as soon as it happened, I just made sure I got straight down there, man. And I was like, I'm sorry, you know what I mean. I just fucked up. Not I'll admit I fucked up, but I'm trying to turn my life around. Obviously, I've just had a wee blip in the road. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, I've fucked up in the past and that. that's the reason I probably didn't get out. Not I mean, if I had maybe not done that in the past, I probably would have not.
If your previous fucked you basically, that's what 23D is.
Exactly.
If
Not
you get similar previous, they can keep you in. It's automatic refusal of bail.
That's what I'm saying. So obviously that had happened. So I was obviously hoping to get out, not as I'm saying, but I was trying to just like, as I said, I didn't end, but obviously because I'd been blamed or something. When it went to court and that, eventually, I got out and all that stuff like that, and whatever happened. So that's what I'm saying. But I had to do the time because what I'd done with the past, I'd basically flying with the Crows. I was getting shot with the Crows because I'd fucked up the past. They say innocent until proven guilty, but it's one of the ones. If you've got a record for if you've got a criminal record, no, it's one of the ones. Why should they trust? Not when you get me. I kind of get it. Not I mean. And as I've said, it did do me the world of good because I was heavy. In fact, I was going to do the gym not every day and that as well. It gave me more facilities and stuff like that I could use. Obviously, I'd rather not been there and I'd rather been doing the wrestling. But it was a part of my life that
I think it's one of the ones as well, because I do believe a lot of things happen for a reason. I think you've managed to get just right into wrestling, just 6 weeks, just enough to get a taste, and you get to jail, and it's at that point in the jail you've managed to sit down like that, right, I need to have a fucking long hard think here.
Why you're right, I would say that, mate, because to be fair, see...
you'd have had that, if you didn't get to jail, you'd have had that.
I say
that word with yourself if you didn't get to jail.
Like, I say that obviously as well, that, I'd stayed out of trouble, not, but I hadn't stayed out of trouble, I just wasn't doing pure mad shit. I wasn't going out in gang fighting. I wasn't going out in having if I didn't have enemies in it. I still had enemies and stuff like that. I wasn't going out and try to squash my beef. I just wasn't going out and try to do them anyway. In my head, I wasn't. But if something kicked off and somebody was fighting with one of my pals, I'd still jump in.
It was still not old
I'm not trying to say I'm a sheep bag that anymore. But if my pals are getting in a fight, I'd try and split up more than nothing because I know what's got to happen. It's no.
Try and keep the peace.
I don't care if somebody was to turn around and say you're a sheep bag or a sheep pal or anything like that. I'd be like, well, you're a sheep pal because you know what the situation is. If I fucking get involved, you're putting me in a position where, not I mean, because you know I live this life. I've used to live this lifestyle, so you know I wouldn't want to no back you up. But if I do back you up, there's a good chance both of you will go to jail. It's not going to be you that's actually got to jail. It's me. It's going to be gone in and got to bar or got to fucking Low Moss or gone anywhere else. No, I mean, it's no, you're going to get bail and I'm no. So
it's usually having to explain that to some cunt. No, I mean, if it's one of your pals, since that sound, not I mean, I understand because you're in a position now. You're trying to be. You're maybe not trying to be, but you're a role model to a lot of people. Know what I mean? Wayne's especially. Know what I mean? So if they see you like rolling about in the street with cunts, you'll be like, I love Ravie Davie. I want to go and roll about with cunts, and before you know it, they're fucking want to fight with cunts in the street. Whether they say get a bit more chilled and there's a better way to approach things, people lead the example.
To be fair as well, obviously it sounds daft and obviously quite like wrestling, but I feel that see when I was younger and all that, obviously with my ma passing away, I'm not wanting to lose me or anything like that, but I wouldn't say I've not had the easiest ride, no, I mean there's obviously people that haven't had much harder lives than me. Every night I had a roof over my head, had food in my stomach and that, but I just had like some emotional things that people really would prefer not to deal with, know what I mean? Obviously some other people get dealt better hands than me, which is fair enough, know what I mean? So I had a lot of pent up anger and stuff like that, so I think a lot of the bad stuff I was doing was to release that, was I think now I'm channeling the stuff, like I've still got mental health issues.
You've still got a lot of the same issues, but now you've got somewhere to channel it.
I still sometimes sit up and think about my ma, I still sit up and think about my nana sometimes now. I've got my wee family I worry about and that, know what I mean? Like for example, when I was younger, if I had something, a wee niggle or like even I thought something was up with me, know what I mean? I felt a lump, anything like that, I wouldn't even bother about it, but now, this year I think I've got diabetes and I think I'm going to fucking end up with like, liver cancer or something like that, and I'm going to get tested that because I've got a small family. I've got my wee boy and my fiancée. I'm now more conscious. I still want to like now all my emotions and all that get took out, and when I'm wrestling, I mean that's what I'm saying, man. This year's actually been a bit more harder. I felt myself, my mental health and that getting a wee bit more what's it called? It's been deteriorating a bit
just
this year.
Getting a bit worse.
That's how like now. Like so, I want to make sure that I'm keeping on top of mental health. I think that's a lot of problems and all. When I was younger,
I'm taking it a bit more seriously. Know what I mean? Right
for example, when I was younger and that, and I would talk about, like social workers would come and try and talk about my man, and I'd always say not, and I would always want no help off nobody. And then eventually, once I did talk to somebody, that helped. So that's now why I'm doing this as well. Because I've not got my reefs with the wrestling, I'm feeling my mental health deteriorating. I'm getting these helps and stuff. I'm getting that help as well because I just feel it's necessary, and that's what I'm saying. It's like all this. It's like I was never a bad person. Not I mean that's what my social workers and all that used to say. That's how I got my apprenticeship and stuff like that because I was never a bad person. I just wasn't dealt the right horn as I said there, and I took the wrong choices. I wanted to be. The reason I was part of the gang was because I didn't have
you needed that sense of belonging. You didn't have you needed people around you. It was kind of
aye, so exactly.
that
So
kind
that,
of
all that
camaraderie kind of thing.
mumbo jumbo fucking Sigmund Freud pish, but it's true probably.
Aye,
Because
it's sort of comforting people around you, like you could develop a connection with,
people
like
that
that's my
obviously,
pals, it's like I've not really got.
obviously, like, it sounds Sigmund, but so when I was fighting, because I'd watched the wrestling all my life, I was kinda like, I wasn't shy, you know what I mean? So when I would be in the gang fighting, I'd be going fighting with people and stuff like that. But that was all. So that was because, and then in the gang, that they'd be like, "Oh, you're pure game, not you're some, oh, you're mad, not," and then that would give me like the
Confidence and belief in
confidence,
yourself,
that
reinforce
makes
your
me-
kind of your
that
self confidence kind of thing. Like, that's why.
Whereas now it's the wrestling that gives me the self-confidence. Now it's the wrestling that makes me feel like now, instead of my pals that were not obviously not my pals, they're all fucking, we were all dealt, as I say, we were all just boys that were just hung about with each other.
Kind of products of your environment kind of thing.
Environment. So, but like, instead of like, them giving me praise for us doing something that's probably seen as bad, not I mean, I'm not going to start sitting now pure trying to talk, cause it's some of the best times in my life, obviously, no the fucking bad shit and getting to jail and all that, but just like kicking about my pals and that. So them got praising me for like stoning 5 guys running to me, not meaning fighting them, getting a battle, but even though I get battered, I fucking stood. Instead of that, now I'm getting praise off wins at wrestling shows and that, or like people like my family not going like, oh, all the years of you like the wrestling, not us bam, now it makes sense and all that stuff, all the kind of things. Not I mean, like my uncle, for example, he always just wanted to get me into football, and I used to think it was mental that I loved wrestling. Not I mean, that's probably one of the reasons I like the wrestling so much and all, because he'd tell me to stop it, and now he loves it. Not when he comes and watches my shows.
No,
and
really,
stuff
aye.
like
So
that,
he's
aye.
became a fan, kind of. Is that just after the back of you doing it?
Aye, he doesn't. He'll not go and like, you know, see him sticking on fucking like WrestleMania. You know what I mean? But he'll come into like, the Fairfield Club and see me wrestle, and I think that's class. Not I mean. So, but so that all reverts. I end up going a big long way for a shortcut. But that's why I feel like the wrestling is the reason. No, obviously the main reason. Obviously there's tons of reasons. I don't want to be in and out of jail all my life and stuff like that. But the wrestling is the like now I've managed to channel all the bad stuff into like a good positive. Not I mean, it's like a good outlet. Now I'm releasing all this energy and all this emotion and all that out into a good setting instead of.
Yeah, definitely. You're not out in the street. Imagine you're out mad. We've got all this pent up energy. If you're still kicking about the streets, somebody says something, you're like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the easiest way to release it. Whereas now you're channeling into something that is benefiting you. It's something you're passionate about, and it's releasing that. And see, once you're doing it, as you say, it goes back to when you done the first class and you came out and you felt amazing. You're pursuing your purpose. Plus you're channeling all this negative energy. You're doing something you love. Plus you're getting rid of all your demons. Not getting rid of them, but able to fucking kind of settle them a bit.
Aye, definitely.
So it is paying off. That great dividends with your mental health and that kind of thing. And as you're saying with this lockdown, that's pure set you back in a sense, but it's make you're strung at your bags. You've not got these outlets.
Aye, no, definitely, but it's one of the ones, and also obviously, for example, so that's obviously the story of how I get into wrestling. But I'll go a bit into when it started, right? So I done all that training and stuff, and then they've finally been told, right, you've got your. So I done all that training. So I was expecting first show. Let's go the first show. I'd done the training with another people and all that, but obviously the other boys just had matches and that, so the shows come up, I'm thinking, I'm going to be in a singles match, obviously, me go get the better than them and that, I'm at training all the time, yada yada yada, better than some of these people in here, probably wasn't at the time, but obviously just me having that tunnel vision, thinking to myself, no, that's the way you need to be, obviously, when you're doing stuff like this, and all you can't just go and tell yourself, oh, you're not, I mean, you're just, oh, you're one, even if you're not the best, tell yourself you're the best.
Aye, definitely. Believe in yourself, man. That's the only way you're going to achieve shit. If you just give you that self-talk.
Especially on the offence and like, but the police had only been doing it a couple of months longer and stuff like that, so I felt the amount of time that I'd put in doing the 4 sessions a week and stuff like that had got me definitely at their level. So
how long had you been doing it at this point?
About 6 months.
6 months?
No, for the Battle Royal. So 4 months. Aye, so 4 months for that, right? And then for there, so the Battle Royal came up and I ended up winning it, but I wasn't happy for that. Obviously I was buzzing off it. I had my family, I had all my pals and stuff like that. It was class. But I mean, I wanted to experience the actual wrestling. Not I mean the singles match that I'd been training for all my life. Not I mean, obviously people think I'd been training to be a wrestler for what was it? August 2015. Aye, so I was training to be a wrestler for August 2015, but it started for a couple of weeks after my dad died. Me and Xander started taking mattresses at the back. No, I mean, I've been wrestling for that. I've been doing it because I've been doing it all my life. No, I mean, obviously I know it's frowned upon in wrestling to say that you done all that, but everybody done it.
Aye, definitely. It was full part of your life. Everybody couldn't done it. I used to do it when I was fucking young.
That's the thing. Obviously, I thought it was got. Obviously, you need to learn how to do it safely. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Which is obviously a big part of it, but it's all kind of how you thought it would be. You know what I mean? So if you've got the confidence, which I did, then I managed to take to it all well. So then obviously the next match show came in, and it was me and Sam Barber wrestling on it. It was a singles match, so we'd been fucking buzzing for it, we'd been practicing it for ages and all that. And we had a really good match, know what I mean? It was fucking really good. So the next day, we're going to do to ICW to fucking be part of the ring crew, and we got a phone call for Dallas. He's like, do you want to, have you got your gear away, you've got to be on this show today? I was like, what? We're kidding on, not I mean, obviously I just fucking wrestled my first singles match yesterday, obviously I'm not got to be on ICW. He's like, no, yeah, if you can get your gear, you've got to be on this show, Sam Barber too. Like, fuck man, so obviously I phoned my missus, Georgia. I was like, so my missus went up to meet us, the referee Sean McLaughlin, and she'd never met him before, and she was obviously pure shiting herself, like, I don't want to fuck this up for him, I want to make sure I get this to the right person. So she did, know what I mean? She left a wee note at my wrestling boot and said, oh, good luck tonight, I was pure buzzing off it. And we had our wrestling match, it was class. And that was actually, I learned, I decided to do the MCing, like, that was your wrestling music, and the night before I'd came out to like Smash Mouth, hey now, Rockstar, and obviously I'm coming out, I'm like, saying the bit though it was on, I'm doing that, people not maybe a fucking Ned, obviously Fresh Prince of Drumoyne Square, and I'm coming out to fucking punk music, man,
Look like a fucking Ned Shooter still game.
Looking like an absolute fucking virgin, So obviously I've come out the next night and somebody asked me, I was like, what am I getting with my day, and I was like, could I MC myself to the ring, know what I mean? They're like, fuck it, go for it. I don't know much time. It's like if it's going to work anywhere, because it was in Newcastle, my debut for the ICW was in Newcastle. I was like, if it's going to work anywhere, it's going to work in Newcastle, because that's where MCing's fair, you know what I mean? People are like, it's not going to work, no, it's like, fucking it's not, I mean, it's fucking Newcastle. It's like, it might not work in Glasgow, it might not work anywhere else, but I'm there, so we got all started, like, what's happening to it's Ravie Davie here, Fresh Prince of Drumoyne Square, mate, he's waiting ring for each and every one of you. Shout and scream for the boy for the scheme. Oh, here we go one time, just start to MC a wee bit, and then obviously comes to us like that, right? When I say Ravie, you say Davie, like Ravie, and obviously I'm shaking myself, I think nobody's got to say it, know what I mean? Obviously, especially I've got that pure stupid, I get a wee bit excited and I start talking, it's probably got to be murder for fucking Matt earlier trying to edit this.
Get subtitles of
Matt.
that.
Subtitles will be fucking mental. But, so obviously, I didn't think they could understand me, I'm like, Ravie, Davie, it's like, yes, Ravie. Davie louder, Ravie, Davie. I was like, yes, had the match, won my debut in ICW. Not usually you get your fucking balls booted when you're wrestling your first match, especially in a big show like that. I'd won it, not I mean 2 in a row. I beat Sam Barber in the night of 4, then beat him no actually he beat me in the night of 4, so we traded wins. And it was fucking surreal, not I mean then I got the road to about 4 in the morning, but it was class with tonight. Then your ICW debut, and that was so that's how it all basically culminated, not I mean I feel like all that was a big long road of hard work, not I mean if we being a fucking daft guy at that moment, like just in Newcastle that night, even though I didn't get him at 4, just after that match finished, it was just like a feeling came out of me, not I mean like just like cause I'd always just thought I'd been told off my teachers and everybody I was never going to make it myself, not I mean, and that night I knew even if I don't, like, if I fucking died the next day for that, I could at least fucking go up there and tell
I've achieved my goal, I've actually done it in a professional setting.
I could go up there and tell my nana I was a professional wrestler, not I mean even though at the time I was only a trainee or whatever, still wrestled in front of fucking about 1,000 people.
Brilliant for your first show, but plus I know, see having taking that risk with the MCing, because see if you'd have shout out to it, know what I mean, it'd probably you think back, not, and you went out and you had the crowd see when they were shouting back Ravie Davie, know what I mean, like off that's give you the spur, like kind of spurred you on. That's probably how it's going, you've ended up getting the win, because you've been like, he's got a heavy reception here.
No mate, the one thing but right, because it's happened before, but there's nothing worse when I go there and I go, when I say Ravie, you say Davie.
Silence.
Ravie.
Where does that happen? What places do you go to that don't shout? What dicks don't shout it back? Won't expose them.
It's only been people that have, like, it's my first time down there. It was quite early in my career, so they don't really know who I'm on, not I mean.
Right.
And then, to be fair, after that, I know I kind of learned. The first time I just was pure embarrassed. After that, I know I kind of like, they might not understand me, right? So do it a wee bit slow and do a thing with like, when I say Ravie, you say Davie, Ravie, and then they end up fucking
really, aye.
doing it, know what I mean? But cause I know, obviously, usually it's murder England and that, and obviously when being Scottish, a lot of the time the formula would be the Scottish guy is the bad guy, so me just coming out there just automatically assuming they're meant to boo me.
Aye, some things never change, yeah.
Kind of get it at it, not to get it across. Aye. So that's basically how I started doing that, and that was my first couple of matches.
Do you remember when you made your debut?
It'd
be ICW?
It was ICW, it'd be February. Was it February? Aye, it was February, because then I wrestled
what year?
April 2015, no, 2016, because I started training in 2015, and then 2016 February I made my singles debut, and then I wrestled in the ICW show, and then in April I wrestled my first match in the garage.
Oh really? I see you're fucking wrestling garage by April. That's a
but
class
then I had
start.
a storyline and all that. I was like my first storyline and stuff like that.
Oh, that's when you were kind of integrated to really fucking be a fucking kind of leading part of ICW then?
Why, before all that, I'd been like, Dallas had gave me a wee role that I was going about, and I was interviewing people and stuff like that. That's kind of how the Amsterdam thing actually came about. So I was good, and I was.
Tell us about the Amsterdam thing, how that happened.
Well, I'll tell you that's a good way.
Go into that, aye.
A right good segue. I mean, we watch a lot of podcasts. Right, so basically, what happened was I'd been getting this role. I bet the John Hartson thing, right? I had this thing in my head.
What was that, John Hartson thing?
It was a charity ball, but the grade on that were wrestling on it, so it was got to be like a charity ball where other things were happening. There was a bit of wrestling in it as well.
Aye.
But I wasn't a wrestler on that, I was just a trainee, but I'd held that they needed help for it, so every time before I'd go on any shows or anything, like, I'd put my name down to help out, you know what I mean, every time.
Aye, show you're keen.
Alice had said to us, oh, he's got an idea for it, not he's wanting you to be like the Raven reporter, they wanted me to go about, and like, basically like Rad McGinch, you know what I mean, for the...
Aye, he's like an Ned fucking news reporter.
Basically I'm interviewing people, but I'm doing it in my own fashion and all that, and I'm reporting wrestling for the Neds, because like wrestling, I think, because I like wrestling, I think all the Neds
Yeah,
like
you want all the
wrestling,
Neds
so I'm reporting it for them even though nobody's actually watching it, but I actually did get quite good views, but obviously it's like in the wrestling world this would have been the story, you know what I mean? That's, so obviously the fans all started liking it and all that, so I'm in my head, right, nobody probably gave a fuck, right, definitely didn't, but obviously I'm just in the door, so I'm thinking this wee story I've been getting is the most important thing in the world, you know what I mean? So I'm going to Amsterdam as a fucking gift and that with my missus, my missus, I'm still with her now, and I didn't want to there was a show while I was away and I didn't want to miss that. I didn't want I wanted there to be a reason why my wrestler wasn't there. So I went up to Box on the Thursday night and I found a video of me like that. Oh, I'm excited for the shows. I've heard the wrestlers come here and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go here and kid on that fucking I'm waiting for them and I'm getting mad with it. So then obviously I've done the next day and I'm like, oh fuck man, just woke up in some hotel, like fucking, I think I'm in Edinburgh, you know what I mean, fucking the tram's not kicking about. I've not really been in Edinburgh before, I've fucking just got my phone on somebody, all that shit. I've asked somebody where am I mate and he's like, not speaking English, and I was like, what mate? Obviously I went to somebody, I was like, excuse me mate, and he's like, what? And he's like, do you speak English? And I was like, he's like, yes. I was like, where are we? He's like, Amsterdam. I was like, aye right, where are we? And he's like, Amsterdam. Obviously fake the videos like I started pure shit myself on the video like oh no how am I got to get him for this show, I'm stranded in Amsterdam, and I didn't think 8 right, I posted it just thinking not Nate, this is one thing I always say, but try to, like, if any video I've ever done that's went viral, it's always the ones you don't think.
Aye, the ones you think are shite, the ones you're thinking twice about even putting up.
Mate, see when you're like that to yourself, oh I've got a video idea, this is a pure belter, put time, effort in it, write it down, all that shit, fucking characters, a lot, everything. They fucking, you post them, get everybody to share them, fucking all the pages and all that. About 3,000 views and about 10 likes, man. See that Harry Potter video, for example, I done where I ran into a fucking wall with you were there.
Video that?
Oh my god, that's got like fucking 750,000 likes.
It was just a pure chance, man. We just walked by and it just happened to be a fucking brick wall with freaking 9 3/4
That's what I'm
of
saying
it.
with Amsterdam, man. I thought, no, I mean, I just post that. That's just me putting this on my page, know what I mean, to fucking like sell a storyline for this wrestler that obviously I'm not going to be a show on Sunday because I care about this storyline more than anything. Nobody else gives a fuck about this.
You want people to know where you are,
and then I woke up the next day, man, my fucking phone's getting fucking mental, know what I mean, man? I'm like, what? I'm checking my phone. It's fucking been sent, the Lad Bible have contacted me, fucking everybody, know what I mean? Fucking, and then obviously at the time as well, so they've all posted this fucking story about me, but they're all saying that I'm fucking a professional wrestler. Obviously the time I'm a trainee, I don't even had a match yet, it was wrestler, so I hadn't even wrestled a match yet, know what I mean? Fucking, and I've got these cunts saying, the Lad Bible saying I'm a professional wrestler, so there's wrestlers gonna have fun up with me, know what I mean? And then there's this one wrestler, I'm not going to mention his name because he's a dauber, but he was taught about me, know what I mean, like, who's this wee dick kink is, know what, and then all his wee dafty pals for like America and all that, know what I mean, cunts fucking mention, know that, oh you're right, know what,
But they all hate on you, aye?
No, but to be fair, but right, then proud that, like, for Mad Jack Jester, Lionheart, a few at Dallas, not like commenting, all that, what you talking about, Mad Lionheart's like, this boy's went and got ICW's name mentioned on Lad Bible in front of like 7 million people, not what the fuck you ever done. Stuff like that,
I can see how it is, innit?
People
Proud of him.
sticking up for me, know what I mean? So then obviously we resolved that, push anyway, whatever, know what I mean? But obviously because of that, I had to end up getting like CNN, Greece, CNN, I end up on fucking hundreds of stuff, and I've see through that, I've made about $3,000, right? But after it,
Fuck off, really?
Aye, mate.
Wait, after you just putting that video up, you've made $3,000.
Like fucking, like,
How have you made $3,000?
well, obviously I was about to get into that, but so I done the thing with ITV, Holiday Horrors. I made well.
Right, so what was that? Tell us about that.
Lad Bible bought the video off me for $5, right? So obviously.
So they sent you $5 and says we could
put it in my bank account, know what I mean?
just to
And
put it on the Lad Bible.
The
Just to
Sun,
put it on the Lad Bible. Is that
aye,
they
and then
give you
like,
$5 for that?
then like the Sun gave me like £75 for it. The fucking all the papers gave me like £75.
Did you
each
just
for it.
transfer your money?
Aye, no, obviously I think I done something wrong, to be fair, because obviously I've gave the Lad Bible the rights to it. Know what I mean?
Oh,
For fuck's
so
sake.
like,
And then but then I'll keep selling the rights on, and I sold the rights to ITV, I sold the rights to
aye, fuck it, milk it, right?
Obviously, so I sold the rights to ITV, and then like a couple of years later, like, no, like Channel 5 messaged me. The story's basically been on every fucking channel, know what I mean?
Done the rounds of the fucking
the
smart telly.
because of that, like, end up getting it's been on 3 different shows. It's been on Holiday Horrors, like a mad clip show and another mad show. And then like, I go to an interview with mad cunts for Amsterdam and all that, and they wanted to pay me money. I get all that, know what I mean? I on about $3,000 and a free trip to Amsterdam, like, know what I mean?
Fuck's sake, man.
First mob took me to Amsterdam, filmed stuff and all that, put me in a big 5-star hotel, bought weed for us and all that.
Did
know what
they,
I mean?
aye?
Aye, mate, they put it on miscellaneous, know what I mean? I was like, obviously I don't smoke weed, know what I mean? I'm feeding that, obviously I don't like to be fucking, don't like to put my body with that and stuff, you know what I mean? But basically, I'm going to Amsterdam, when in Rome, innit, obviously, but I was like, I'm obviously got to buy myself, you know what I mean, fuck's sake. The boys are telling me they've got to spend everything, you know what I mean, they've got to sort it out, I don't need to pay for anything, but I was like, obviously I need some money, don't I? But you're not going to buy weed for me, and they're like, well, we take a smoke, no, and like, we'll just put it under miscellaneous. I was like, aye, you're right, man.
Yes.
But the bad thing about it was, man, they were fucking, obviously I was wanting to like go and try other things, they just bought like a 40 bit, smoked, like, done a couple of joints, not, and then they went back to their room. It's obviously after I went out and fucking had a wee fucking
Aye, had a wee wonder.
but they were fucking, they still bought weed for us, know what I mean?
Ah,
I thought it was quite class. If I was like, if I wanted to, I could have just like, lived after him for that 2 days, know what I mean? So it's quite
I did definitely, didn't it,
oh no,
man?
they got me a nice lunch and that, and everything was fucking, obviously I got room service in the wee hotel and that, I was fucking,
That's fucking.
definitely got a wee bowl for that and all, so they did.
Oh,
know,
really? Aye.
Definitely, I was eating everything, man.
Oh, fuck it, why no, man? When in Rome, as you say.
Defos, but that's what I'm saying, mate, so I get heavy looked after all that.
So,
And then I think that was really the start of, after that I started getting like used more nice. That's when I had a storyline and stuff like that. And
that's what I was going to say. So, see when you came back from Amsterdam, it was like one of the ones you were almost immediately, you were like, right, a much bigger name in ICW. At that point, did it help your kind of
that was when I
your
kinda,
image there?
Well, that's when I, like, obviously I'm not being pure big headed and that, but ever since that I kinda, that's when people started noticing me and stuff like that. Not just in wrestling, just like, that's when I started becoming Ravie Davie, the Fresh Prince of Drumoyne Square. Not when I'd good places and people would recognise me.
Aye.
Like my missus would be like that, they'd noticed you and all that and stuff, just all that kind of stuff would start happening. You probably get it yourself now, not
It's starting to happen, aye.
obviously people start recognising you. I don't know, I still think
I get one thing it does things about me. I walk by cunts and then see if it, because I'm walking about stoned a lot of the time, right? So I'm walking about and I'm like, is he looking at me just because he's looking at me, or is he looking because he's recognised me? And I'm sometimes I'm happy cunt see when I catch him looking about, I was like, I must have recognised this cunt, but a lot of them don't say it.
You get yourself a catchphrase, because that's the one thing. See, what I notice now, especially, I'd always date with wee boys. Not I mean, like, see if it's like wee guys or wee lads that, and you can tell. Or you can tell. Like, I can't see Dave, you know, but they're obviously too scared to ask. I always say to them what's happening. Troops they tell them like, oh yeah,
right.
I mean, that's some buzz. That, not I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, see when I started getting into wrestling, it was like selfish. Not I mean, I wanted to be the best wrestler. I wanted to be rich and famous and all that stuff. Now I've done it. I've got a wee boy that loves wrestling, and I've got hundreds of fans and that, like wee guys that pure look up to me and stuff like that. Now for me, it's the community aspect of it and stuff like that. I mean, it's the giving back. It's the try to let show people that you can live your dreams and stuff like that. No, I mean, it's more like,
to give people opportunities to
I
kind of
want to inspire
better
people
life for
now. I
themselves.
want to inspire. Obviously, if WWE would come in tomorrow and say, "Oh, here's a contract for you. We want you to sign it. We want you to fucking come here. We want you to go there." Obviously, I'm going to sign that because that was my dream from the start. But I'm also, what's the word?
It's not the pinnacle of your
I'm
success,
not, like,
kind of thing. That's not the pure. It's
I'm
like
comfortable with the fact if it never happens. Not I mean, now because like I feel like I could do big things there here, and I could make eventually. Like once this is all done and stuff, like I imagine that I can start making a good living after wrestling and all that. Not I mean, I can like start training my wee boy up to be a wrestler and that. Not I mean, like, when he's 16, not I mean, old enough to have matches. I'll only be like 34. Not I mean, so that's like a new. I could like, so in the 8 years, I could have my tag career with Xander, we could have like a break-up feud, I could have a couple of singles runs, stuff like that, and then it all culminates back, then me and Xander could reform again, and then it all culminates to me eventually, like, oh, me and Xander, I'm going to look after my boy, and then Xander has a big singles run or something like that, know what I mean? Stuff like that.
You could build something off it, know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying, so I could do a big long career before then I start to wind it down, even though I wouldn't be needing to wind it down because I'm still a good age.
You're still taking part in it as well, but you're using you're
you're
kind of passed on your knowledge, because that's what I was going to ask you. Is that the kind of what you're looking like, kind of the next thing on for it? Right now it's wrestling and dedicating yourself to that and doing a lot of things with that, but obviously are you seeing yourself as kind of moving into the kind of mentoring side as time goes on?
What I would eventually want to do is obviously, like, I don't imagine, like, my dream is to still like get a big contract or still make something there eventually, but I also would be happy just to make my name in Scotland forever and be like one of the best wrestlers here, wrestle where Europe, do stuff like that.
Cement your legacy kind of thing.
But I want to build, glad that Bo wants to be a wrestler, so I want to like help him and guide him into, like, for example, one of the reasons I'll probably not make it WWE is because I've been in at the jail, you know what I mean, so I can't, that's something I didn't think of at that age. When I was being young, I didn't think, you want to be a wrestler, and I did that, but I never thought, oh, if I get the jail I can't do that, because I can always, I can, like, no scare him, but I can always be a guy lean and like, look at me, like, you know I'm good, you know I'm a good wrestler and stuff like that. But how the reason I couldn't get there was because I done these idiotic things and I done, you know what I mean?
See,
so
that's the thing as well, is, let's see, because obviously
and then I can vicariously live my dream through him.
Definitely would be my Coach Carter, but I think it's like you're trying to be that kind of, well, obviously you never had much of a father figure in your life, now you're kind of trying to be that for somebody like that. Nobody was out there to tell me this would affect me in the future. Now I can, right now you're still kind of mentoring, you're kind of, you're actually, you're like, right, using my experience, I can kind of push you, help push you in the right direction.
I know a lot of people that go out with women that get weigh-ins and don't really take it to day with the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and it's more because they don't want to, like, be seen as a dad, but I don't really see it as that way. I see myself as Bo's best pal. I know he does call me stepdad and stuff like that, and it's one of the best films ever. Because I fucking hate my dad, you know what I mean?
I know, that's what I'm saying is, right, the fact you've kind of grew up, you've known the dad, so you're seeing, like, you're kind of like, right, seeing a young Wayne, the bird you're gone with, like, kind of, I can be that kind of person that I never had. I can use my, like, see, you're talking to me about, like, fucking,
I can mentor him
like,
that, I do try and mercy it, so it's actually a problem now, because obviously I've always grew up as being his best pal, so now that it's a bit older, I think it's a wee bit more cheeky and that, it's a bit harder to later on, not even so obviously just like, oh, you're a big bit, it's like me trying to get you out of trouble or something, but you talking to, you fucking bam, not. He's like, fucking what you talking about, mate, you fucking just the two were rolling about a second ago, fucking slapping each other on the back of the head.
I know you're trying to tell him off, I
know I'm trying to tell him to shut up.
He's sounding a bit clued up now, isn't he?
He's getting there, not I mean, so, but that's what I'm saying, obviously I'll always try and guide him in the right line, that's what I'm but I know, basically, but I do think I'm a good role model to him, and it's one of the ones I want to see the best for him, not I mean. So.
See, we were talking about maybe further down the line, maybe getting into the mentoring side of kind of things. Like, would you be willing to, like, pass on your knowledge kind of thing? Like, people maybe it's what again, like maybe teaching people or something like that. Is that on like your horizon at all? Is that in your mind already?
Like, I would be I'd happily, like, I don't know. I've got an idea in my head, like, something I want to do. I want to, like, kind of not really like, be a wrestling coach, because, like, I don't know, I don't think I'd have the, like, I could commit to doing Bo, not I mean, because I'd, like, and not even that, I'd just show him the right places to go and that, and I'd go and help him and that stuff, I'd always be an extra, but I don't think I'd have the commitment level to be a coach. But I'd like to do something in Govan, because I've been like a youth worker and that in the past, I've done a bit of that. I'd like to do something like maybe like a youth club centred around wrestling, you know what I mean? So you can get the weigh-ins in off the streets, maybe on a Friday or a Saturday, you know what I mean? Another day during the week to get them out the thing with the weekend, so they'll drink that, or even if they're drinking, to get them so that they'll know, like, know what I mean, bring them in, like, tell them there's a club, they'll probably drink, but at least they're in the club with adult supervision, so they'll not fucking fight and get stabbed or stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just a place for them to obviously, like, something else to do, you know what I mean? Because I always said if I was wrestling about when I was younger, it would have given me something to do, you know what I mean? So just, like, I don't know, for example, you come in with, like, the wrestling on there, fucking...
Just some kind of drill set up.
Mats and that
just do some drills that fucking
and then if they do like it, they can maybe go to a wrestling school, know what I mean? That's like a starting off place for them, know what I mean? Just doing their pals, going somewhere to hang about, know what I mean? They don't even need to do the wrestling stuff they want, they can take the wrestling games out to PS5 or the stuff I brought down for them, and they can change the end shit, know what I mean? But it's just something...
Well, a kind of youth club, but I was like incorporating wrestling into it as well.
It's wrestling, it's me that's running it, know what I mean? So it's obviously about wrestling at all. But Govan's not got a lot of... Like, I remember as a wee guy,
there's been a lot of youth clubs around Govan. I think like, if I wasn't a wee arse, I'd have enjoyed them more, not I mean, but I was just a wee arse at the time. So there's no that anymore, not I mean, there's no these youth clubs around further away, so I'd like to at least do something like that, know what I mean? It's one of the ones I wouldn't want to make money off it, know what I mean? If I just want to have something...
Like, something they could go to, something you never had, know what I mean? Kind of providing, giving back, definitely.
So that's what I'd like to do, because I don't think I've got the thing to be a wrestling coach. There's hundreds of great wrestling coaches in Scotland and stuff like that and all, so it's not really something like... Plus I know there's guys that are like I wrestle with and stuff like that are going up with me that I think would be good coaches that I think would be better than I would, know what I mean? So I'd happily, if somebody was wanting to fucking...
advice or something, or something, want to come to a class and help us out, can I be up for that?
Example, because I'm a lot better with the character side of things and the confidence that if somebody asked me, oh, do you want to come along and do like a character development class,
a workshop or some kind of thing like that.
I do like seminars and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm in the position to do seminars and that either, but you'll obviously ask me what I do in the future.
Aye, but of course, if the opportunities came up, they're the kind of ones that would interest you.
Yeah, you should always need to you always need to make sure you're stating what you're doing in wrestling, not because there will be a lot of people think I'm trying to steal their fucking...
steal their thunder.
But I'm no, you're just that's what I'm saying. I'd maybe do stuff like that in the future when I'm an older guy, my knees are starting to go, not I mean, because I do all the fucking big flipping moves and all the jailbait shit, so I'll probably be retiring before and stuff like that.
You're for ripe old age of 30.
I've got all 4 years left, and so I'd like to do stuff like that eventually in the future, but at the end of the day, I've done a lot, mate, already. I've wrestled in the Hydro, I've wrestled in a sold out Barrowlands, I've wrestled all over the UK, I've wrestled in Germany, I've done a lot of things. I've met a lot of people that I grew up with, you know what I mean, like watching on telly and stuff like that, partied with them, done mad stuff. Like, if it was I don't obviously ever want, but like, with this pandemic, if I was to get somebody to turn around and say wrestling's no coming back, you'll need to get money to run it around like that, and this pandemic's not what I finished for like 5 years, so I'd be content with what I've done, know what I mean? I'd at least...
you've achieved a lot of goals.
I've achieved a lot more than I did when I started, know what I mean? At the end of the day,
I came a long way.
Aye, so it's that kind of way that I've done a lot of cool things. Obviously I don't want that to happen, touch wood, I want to obviously eventually fucking become a world champion and fucking win hundreds of titles and have hundreds of cool storylines and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if that doesn't happen, I've still did the clash with it. I mean, I go to wrestle fucking Grado, the biggest wrestler in fucking Scotland, on the biggest stage, Fear and Loathing, 1 year, and then like Burniston, quality pose, came in jail as after it, done a fucking thing where I was fighting Michelle at Bob, fucking...
You've done a lot, you've ticked a lot of boxes, especially. You've probably done a lot more than you intended on, know what I mean? At this point, if you look back, if you'd have came half the way you'd have came the now, and if you were to look back, you'd have been like, ah, fucking hell, I'm happy there. No, I mean, you've probably overachieved a lot of stuff, and plus, you've done a lot of shit outside the wrestling, like you've done a programme, The Road to Wrestler.
I got a programme that was actually based on my life, know what I mean? Obviously, Dallas had pitched doing a documentary about my life, because obviously, we've already done the documentary, so why don't we take the idea, know what I mean, and then make it into a game show, so rogue to wrestler, so obviously that was so I was the rogue that became a wrestler, so that was the idea, I'll get these rogues and make them become wrestlers, know what I mean? And that was kind of centred off my life, so it was quite class, but obviously I was promised much more in it than I got, but fuck it. One of the ones, it was...
Television in it, mate, it's a fickle mistress. So how...
End of the day, Big Harto ended up getting a big shine off, and God rest his soul, he's not here anymore, so that's a good thing. He got shown how much a good guy he was, so even though I got getting false promises, it still had something good at it.
There's still something you can look back on.
It's just being selfish, not I mean, but it's one of the ones.
Okay, it's one of the ones, we'd all be the same, not I mean, especially if it was kind of, it was based on your kind of story, but like, well, fucking, wait a minute, not I mean, it's based on me.
It's one of the ones, I say that, but if you didn't put me in my story, like, where's my fucking money, not?
I know, you'd have probably expected,
I
know, you'd have probably expected a lot more after it, so it's probably kind of humbled you to a certain degree, not I mean, but so how did you feel after that? See, did you feel as if you got much more exposure after that? Let's see, to your more fans, or was more people into your story?
After that, it was more people, like, it's hard to explain. So, after that, to be fair, mate, it was basically after a couple of my busker videos, it was after that it went mental. I went on holiday and stuff like that, and a full pub in Spain noticed, like, recognised me, like a mad Scottish pub, and everybody recognised me in it. It was gone, fucking, I went on all these holidays and everybody, like, I went to Jamaica and somebody recognised I was not even my boy for Hamlin.
Fuck's sake, man.
He's like, my wee brother loves you and all that.
Mental, know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, it's just, but it's murder, know what I mean? It's like, you ever seen the Jim Jeffries fucking skit talk about being fucking skinting famous?
Aye. It's exactly like that.
Aye, you know what I mean? I just couldn't fucking, but everybody thinks you're fucking rich, know what I mean? Like, I'm pure skin. No, but everybody thinks, know what I mean?
Can I ask you for money?
No, they don't ask you for money, but everybody thinks you're pure because you're your own telly and stuff like that, and you're doing the wrestling.
And
like,
you've
you're
loaded,
fucking
you've made
pure
it, man.
loaded, Still, just a boy that stays in accounts for us in Govan, know what I mean?
Yeah, I still no left your fucking Drumoyne Square.
No, I probably can't leave that kind of fucking defeats the purpose.
I know, you need to change your full character.
But aye.
Imagine he just became a character that based his skit on fucking street names.
I know, I fucking become the fucking
The Saracen Street shoplifter.
Leatherface of fucking
Leatherface of London Road.
Right,
See, you were taught about, obviously you might get into like working with like youth working kind of stuff like that with the community. Would you ever think about doing anything like in terms of working with rehabilitation? With like offenders and shit like that, some kind of...
Well, that's an avenue I'd love to do, you know what I mean? That's actually something it's always something I've liked to do, because like, you know yourself being in the jail, like, it's just a revolving door, and it's just the boys that go in, and all people don't believe in themselves after, you know what I mean? So once you're in the jail, you just don't believe you can get a job, you don't believe you can fucking do it, and you just, they start meeting people in the jail, and they just start,
you go down a certain route, you meet people in the jail like that, oh fucking I say listen that, I'll give you that, and you get out kind of hanging, and that's your kind of only options like that, every cunt's staying it, it's like, it seems like it's dead a fucking...
And then when they go out as well, they do a bit well with that, know what I mean? They probably do better than their pals that are working for a bit, but then end up back in jail, so it's just it's a never ending cycle, whereas obviously I've not just got out the jail and broke the cycle, because obviously there's probably a lot of people that have still managed to do that, but I've got out the jail, broke the cycle, and I've managed to like go and live my dream. I've not just been like, oh, I'll go and take a wee job that I fancy, you know what I mean, just to like get out of trouble. Because that's what I done the first time I got to jail. I got an apprenticeship. I fucking hated it, you know what I mean? I was a welder. I despised it, man. Honestly, the amount of times I talk to people about it, like, is that not a good job? No, it's fucking shite, man. Obviously, other people say things, but see lifting steel all the time, fucking Orries near misses, things that fucking forklifts dropping big fucking steel beams right in front of me, and they'll take my toes off and stuff like that. That is shite, horrible, honking, right? No, I'm doing something I fucking love, you know what I mean? I'm actually going out there in front of fans, entertaining people, doing stuff that I love, adrenaline rushing through the roof, fucking expressing myself, and it's amazing. So I've not just went and chased my dream, like that's what I'm saying. People would like, go and chase your dream, man, not just like obviously it's not going to just be easy. I didn't just fucking go and chase, but I had to go and get jobs and stuff, I had to work hard, I had to fucking get the heat screws on.
It was a long road, know what I mean? It wasn't an overnight success.
But what's stopping other people for doing that? Instead of just gone and being a joiner, because when they went to school they get told after pastoral care teacher, oh that's a good job, so they went and done it, they can't be asked me a joiner anymore. Like, go and fucking try and be a fireman, or like, when you were 4 years old, what did you want to do, you know what I mean? Like, what did you want to be when you were 4 years old? When I was 6 years old I wanted to be a wrestler, so I went and fucking done it. But when you were 4 years old, what did you want to be when you got asked? Did you want to be a fireman? Did you want to be an ambush? Did you want to be a fucking lorry driver? You wanted to be something, and then eventually you get told in life it needs to go a certain way.
You get conditioned. You get conditioned to fit society.
Yeah, exactly. So that because of that, you wanted, you want to know, you get your head set on getting a job where you earn the hundreds of money, even if you fucking hate it, so you can get a fucking mortgage somebody you don't even like. So you can move in with a woman that fucking... And have a win be fucking at 30 or whatever else. There's a set life plan. If you've not got to done what everyone else has done, you're seen as a failure, but they're not really. You're a failure. No, you're a failure if you do that fair. Because everyone can do what it wants, but it's like one of the ones if you're getting up and you're dreaming, pursuing that, then fucking all the best to you, man. It will only be me. But what's Mary a failure, right? Gone and living your life the way you want to be and fucking being happy, right? Or gone and living your life this fucking way and it gets that much on you, it balls to you fucking hate your life that much that you either end up fucking mentally ill or you end up killing yourself and you fuck up your full entire family and all that and everybody around you because you went and lived a fucking way that you get told you've been conditioned to be, instead of just going, you know what, I want to be happy. That's why I don't care about money, I don't care about fucking, obviously I need to pay the bills and to do stuff like that, but I'm no money driven. I mean, that's one of the reasons I've stopped, like, a lot of people are saying it is, not I mean, why do you just always go in at a jobs and out of jobs? Because I've not found something I like yet. At the end of the day, I like to be a professional wrestler, I like to make my money out of that. So why should I settle for like fucking jobs I hate just to fucking bring money into the house? Know what I mean? I'll struggle for a bit if I need to so that I can fucking enjoy myself and look what's happening. Now I'm in a job that I like. Know what I mean? I'm doing 4 on 4 off. My shifts are fucking good because I didn't settle. It's just showed you that the fact that you wouldn't settle, it's paid off. If I settled, I'd probably be in the welding still now with a finger missing or fucking a toe missing or something. Everybody I worked in the welding all had fucking big. They'd all had a compo claim. Dad had compensation, I mean, and it's good thinking, oh, they'd have a lump sum of £6,000, but it's no if you've lost a finger.
Nah, no, but if you
inside
lost to
tough,
get it.
every time you go to the toilet, you do a big rotten, smelly shite, you know what I mean? It stinks the toilet because you've been scudded in the guts with a fucking thing when your intestines cut. That happened to one of my friends. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell,
The
man.
Annie's Land stairs, like the weld burst and it scudded him right there, man. Like, he had to go in and get his intestine, a bit of cut out and all that, full ruptured. Like, every time he does the toilet, it stinks of pure acid, man. Pure horrible,
Fucking hell.
No,
Much did he get for that?
But he get about 14 grand, know what I mean? But I don't that's what, for the rest of
14 grand for the rest of your life, shite and smelly shites.
Aye, and you're probably,
man, it's a fucking steep, it's a small price to pay in it. Fuck.
Oh, probably, but it's no that, it's just that's the thing that the effect that I seen, not I mean that I could always see every time they taught you in it. But I think he's obviously going up waiting up at night with fucked stomach and all that. Probably when he was a mad sesh head, when he's in the sesh, he'd probably fuck, know what I mean, hundreds of things, know what I mean.
Fuck that. Especially when that's probably him as a healthy guy. Imagine you're fucking.
Oh, he's a young fit and healthy, he was like.
Aye, that's the thing, but it's just as well. It's like, imagine you want to.
Eventually
Probably no way
they'll-
to drink juice and shit like that.
Aye, like hundreds of boys have had hernia, they're all just fucked with it, know what I mean? I feel like getting out of that was a bit right thing to do.
That's how I feel with the scaffolding and this. Do you ever cunts in their 50s and all that? One of the, like, the trainers, the guy puts you through your cots, that's your scaffolder's labourer care. You can't lift your shoulders up past that. I'm like, cause it's scaffolding, like, what? You kidding on? So I'm like, looking at these cunts like, am I really gonna sit and sacrifice fucking my health for the fucking benefit of these cunts? Cause you're fucking dying of sight, you're not getting paid the next day, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're not getting paid ever again, they cunts getting paid for you.
Well, that's the thing, I was obviously on a build, that's one of the reasons I wanted to move on. I was on a building site through that lockdown there before it started, and then when it finished, and when I get followed, I was self-employed, I didn't get any money and I hadn't been self-employed enough to get like the grants of that, so I was fucking on my arse there for a bit, you know what I mean?
Fuck's sake, I so just basically plant left, light in your arse. That's what it was the lockdown that kinda, that's just where I get back to the positives taking out a lockdown. See, just before I was working on a site, and it was a Robertson site actually, and I know, my dad's site, I'd be fuck all on it, just even bastard. No, but anyway, and the guy, they says, right, it was lockdown, Boris Johnson said the place had to shut down, so like, right, we're just waiting to hear for like one of our, the head of the company, Elliot Robertson, he's made a decision, so they went up and made a meeting, and they came down like that, right, it was like, the site supervisor, he says he wants it shut, like the director, he wants it shut, but Elliot Robertson, he said to keep it open, so we come back the next day, this is when everywhere's going to lockdown, and I'm like, where is Elliot Robertson now? He's like, what you talking about? He's like, he's in his house. I was like, where's his house? He's like, Elgin or something like that. So I was like, he's in his house saying we've got to go into work, but everything else is getting shut down. Like, I was just like, fuck these cunts. And that was that moment. I was just like, fuck this shit, man. These cunts are playing. And that was kind of a pivotal moment. It made me, it went into lockdown. I hadn't played the darn ages. And I was just like, fuck it, man. I just picked it up and started playing it again. And just started putting videos on Facebook. And it was quite, that's where I've took the positive of it, you know what I mean? But it's the fact that Elliot Robertson being a scumbag bastard, it's kind of give me the motivation, know what I mean? So cheers, mate.
So that's how. So having said that, that's why a lot of the basically in my life I just try and find happiness, know what I mean? And now being in wrestling, I'm probably, as I said, obviously with wrestling in the afternoon and all this shit that's happened, my mental health's not the best, know what I mean? Obviously, but I want to fix that, know what I mean? So actually, as you're saying, I would love to be an inspirational speaker. I've already had talks with my high school and that about going back in and having a talk with them and stuff like that, like having an assembly and stuff like that. I'd love to do stuff like that because I think like a lot, obviously, I especially when a lot of the Ned culture's dying out, but there's obviously still got to be people that come. It's no the Ned culture. It's more like the people just got to come through the background. There's still going to be like drug addict moms and dads and stuff like that, like wee boys and lassies and that don't really have as much in life, and I'd like to just be able to say to them, know what I mean? Here, fucking, if you just work hard, know what I mean? Fucking forget about all that shit. Use that as a positive, and you can make something good of your life. You can go follow your dreams and fucking.
Therefore, use it as fuel and inspiration.
Make hundreds of money and fucking help your mum and dad get better and fucking all these things. Know what I mean? Use your mum and dad's. So if that's something like that, because obviously my mum had an addiction before she passed away, like something like that. I would hopefully maybe you could use that as like something to, oh, you got to try and help the addiction. Oh, sorry. You can help use the addiction to fucking. I don't know.
Use it as fuel. It can inspire you. Like, can I know what I mean? Like one of the ones I'm gonna use this is because you get a lot of people see they've got like my driving stuff that was telling us is a story about a guy. I think he's one of his boys. He's high up in this firm. It's an electrical firm, and a boy came in. I think he was like 16. The boy had no qualification, that kind of thing, like that. But he says to him, he's like, listen, I stay in a house full of drug addicts. Everybody in the house takes smack. He's like, I'm the only one that doesn't. He's like, I just need to do this house. I've got no qualifications, but I can guarantee I'll be here at whatever time it is every day, bang on. And like the cunt was like, alright, give him a chance. And since then, he done really well with the company. I think he's like 40 now, he's got 2 wains, a house and all that. Cunt's doing brilliant. But that's one of the ones, he's grew up in the house around cunt, so he's kind of used that, right, I'm not ending up like that. So I think that boy done really well with the job. He don't think he'd fuck all qualifications. I mean, he don't know if he had a chance. Goes back to seeing having the hand you're dealt, know what I mean? It just depends, not everybody gets dealt. A lot of people get dealt shit hands, but you do better, innit?
Definitely. So I would like to do that, but it's one of the ones, I don't really know the avenue you go into do it, you know what I mean? I'd happily go into like places like Pullman and have talks with cunts and say, this isn't, or your life isn't a revolving door, you can get to this, but you just need to want it. Because I know I didn't really, I'd been in the jail like 4 times, like the first 3 times, I kind of told myself I was going back, kind of thing, know what I mean? Like I knew, like I would actually speak about it, I was like, oh, when I go back here, know what I mean? I'd like set myself thinking, oh, I want to stay out for this long, you'd stay out for that long. And then you'd end up doing something stupid, but because you'd have that, I don't know, maybe that hanging in your head where you're going.
You've planted the seed kind of in your brain, know what I mean?
It was the last time I was like, I'm never going back there, and I've not been back, know what I mean? So
it's one of the ones, it's kind of, you're willing it in existence, you're telling yourself. It's like, if you tell yourself you can do anything, you can do it. If you tell yourself you can't do anything, you can probably not do it. It's the man that tells yourself you can.
So as I said, I'd like to do that, but it's one of the ones, you don't really know how to get on amongst it.
I think it's one of the ones, even pants people, because probably a lot of people don't really know in depth of your story. They probably know bits of it, because with the road to wrestler, I don't think it was, like, you spoke a bit about it, but I don't think people knows like the ins and outs of it. I think once you start kind of hearing your story and hearing what you're kind of...
I think this is probably the first thing I actually openly said I've been in the jail, not to people, know what I mean?
So it's probably, after back to this it might come, know what I mean? People watch it, know what I mean? And like that, often I'm actually looking for some cunt, it's kind of, you can come in, because they're always looking for, jails are always looking for people to come in and say to them, especially somebody that's been in out, fucking secure units, know that kind of stuff, know what I mean? You're kind of...
That's what I started after securing it, was in St Mary's. Well, I actually started in Pullman because I was out my aunt, I was trying to act like a big man. I told the judge to put me in Pullman. My lawyer was like, no, put me in secure unit. My judge was like, fuck that, if he wants to be a big man, he can be a big man. Sent up to Pullman. Second time I got sent to secure. Third time was fucking, was I meant to go to... First time was Pullman, second time was secure, third time was secure, fourth time was Pullman, and then bar, because they were meant to send me to Low Moss, but they fucked my date of birth up. So they sent me to bar, or they sent me to Pullman, so I've asked, I want a transfer, I want to go to fucking Low Moss. I think they'd send me to Low Moss, put my right date of birth in, they fucking sent me to bar, didn't they?
Fuck's sake, back to the 1980s.
Why did I even ask for that?
Fucking hell, man, cockroaches and the flare and shit like that, man.
Place ever, man.
Dirty place, man. Oh, it's fucking rotten.
Every cunt I'm gonna be a wrestler and that fucking.
Cutting about in a pair of barrel Y-fronts. You don't even get your own don't get your own boxers in Billini. You're not allowed them.
No, you get them in remand.
If you're in remand, remand. If you're
remand, I didn't actually do it.
Oh, so you won there.
Fuck's sake.
I didn't do it and I ended up saying.
Shut up.
Aye, fuck, know what I mean? I didn't get I get one pair of boxers. The ones I had my arse when I get fucking lifted for the house. So that's the best I had, man. I missed that big red fleece. Nah, kidding on. I know, man. Fucking fruit of the loom belters, man. Pure worst gear. You're wearing it, man, and like, seeing that they would give you the jail boxers. It was like jail boxers now. They've kind of upgraded, but they've obviously been lashing it on. But it seemed,
used to be pants. When
you pull them on, mate, you can feel like the 100 asses before you that's worn them. It's like, see when you're in the house and maybe you're staying with some cunt and you pick up their box and put them on. You're like, these are my boxers. Somebody else.
I can't say I've all put anyone else's boxers.
No, like, they've obviously been clean. I've stayed in my dad or something, and I've picked up and put. I've stayed somewhere and I've wore somebody else's boxers. They've never worn.
Boxers again, it's ones that have been worn before.
It's the jail boxers.
Once you get out, you need to give the boxers back.
And they wash them and give them to the next cunt to come out.
Aye, once you're sentenced, they just wash.
It used to be Y-fronts, and you used to see apparently you used to see the skid marks in the Y-fronts.
Fuck off.
Aye, mate, fuck's sake. Aye, mate, it's a dungeon. And that's actually, this is it in 2020. It's a shithole, mate. Oh, it's really bad, man. We fucking waking up in the morning, there's mad beetles crawling across the flare and that. Fuck's sake. I said I was a non-smoker, man, so I kind of I dodged that bullet. I still get dubbed up with fucking a load of non-drug addicted rockets.
I said I was a non-smoker and on some reason they put me in my fucking junkie.
A junkie that doesn't smoke?
Well, I did smoke, but
Oh,
He didn't smoke fags.
oh, what the fuck? Right, smoke silver roll-ups.
We're going to sort this out. We're going to leave.
But fucking right, I'm fucking anything else you want to talk about? Any want to promote or anything like that?
Well, I've got a Facebook, Ravie Davie, the Fresh Prince, Drumoyne Square. I've got...
Instagram, YouTube. Fucking
Instagram.
in fact, are you getting into streaming?
I'm going to start fucking. I've got a PS5 and that, and I've been playing games with and thing with, and the rest of lockdown push. Now I'm going to start streaming with that, so I'm going to have that. But I'll be on my Ravie Davie page, might make up a Twitch or something like that. I'm going to start doing many of my videos and that, the stuff that got me there. I think with this big bastard inspired me to do it again.
Always an inspiration.
So I might even do a wee fucking parody song or something like that. I mean, so.
Def was a wee duet, man.
Stuff like that. No, I mean, so I am got 2021. Not going to start saying it's got to be the year of fucking Ravie Davie because might not be doing anything. Fuck's sake, maybe at a standstill. But I want the wrestling to hopefully get back. I want to go and fucking batter cunts at wrestling. I want to do many of my videos, and I want to have a good year, much better than this one, because this one was a fucking shiter. That last one. Ravie Davie's Facebook, Ravie Davie on Instagram, Ravie Davie on Twitter, Ravie Davie on TikTok. Probably got to start making them again now, so here we go, fucking post.
Keep your eyes peeled.
That's what's
Premeditated
happening,
patter.
I might come back here and off when he's not got a guest just to fucking talk shit about stuff, read a book and talk shit about it or something, I don't know.
Keep your eyes peeled, we'll keep you interested.